bought another one, only has 11 miles on it. The collection is just growing.
Financially, it doesn't make sense.
I've never seen an 11-mile Fox body like this.
First one I've seen.
Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and today I'm at Fox Mustang Restoration, where I come quite often, but you know what? They just purchased an 85 SSP not too long ago, right? You guys probably seen that video. In case you haven't, I will throw one of those cards, but Matt is at it again. He's one of the co-owners here at FoxResto, and he has bought another Fox body. Yes, he's bought another one to add to his collection. The collection is just growing, guys, but the car he bought, it's right in front of me. Right there, I can see it right now. I'm about to show you guys, but what you gotta know about this car, it only has 11 miles on it. That's right, an 11-mile Fox body. Amazing, amazing car. Well, it's got an amazing story, that's for sure. Let me go ahead and show it to you. I'm really excited about this car. And you know what I always do when we have a new car on the channel, and I try to do a nice montage. And an 11-mile 84 GT350, gotta have an awesome montage of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So what do you think? Only 11 miles on this Fox body. Pretty awesome, right? Not really, not really. Actually, guys, the mileage is true. This truly does have 11 miles on it. There's a big story behind it. Basically what happened, guys, it was bought, it was in a barn, it was stored in a barn, obviously not driven, hardly at all, right? You can still see it has the Fairway Ford Greenville thing here, South Carolina car. We'll take a look here and you can see what the original price was. This was thrown under the seat. This right here was obviously, this was hanging up, we think, right here. And this had the original price, you can see it, $13,279. And obviously it's missing the one. But 1984, you know, that's a nice chunk of change for this. Yeah, so what happened was the guy stored it in a barn. About 12 years later, around 1996, drunk driver flew through the barn, landed right over here, guys, crushed this whole side, unfortunately. And then several other things happened to it over the years. Truly does only have 11 miles on it. Not playing with you guys on that, but Matt bought it. He bought it for several reasons. And today we're gonna get him out here. We're gonna go through the car and find out what his plans are for the car. Go over some details. There's actually some really good stuff in here. Can we save it? I'm kind of thinking no. Anything could be saved. I'm not sure this one's worth it, guys, personally, for me. I don't know. What do you think? If you would save this car and restored it, 84 GT350 with all, what, like 175 horsepower, if you would do that, you think that's the way to go? Let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, let me go ahead and get Matt out here and we'll kind of walk through the car, everything that we know about it. And I've got Matt out here with me and we're gonna take a look at this beautiful car. No, Matt, I seriously already told him. I let the cat out of the bag, obviously. So they've seen it, they know what we're dealing with here. And yeah. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy how you got it. Or, I mean, 11-mile car. I told them a little bit about the story. I know it was in a barn. A drunk driver came through and hit this side, right? That's.
Yeah, I didn't know people personally. They actually just called me a couple weeks ago asking if I'd be interested in buying an 11-mile GT350, and of course it.
What'd you think when they first said that part?
Well, it piqued my interest.
Yeah, it needs a little work, probably is what he said.
Well, he follows up with, he's like, don't expect much, it's not pretty.
Okay, so he was a very honest person, obviously.
Oh, very honest, very honest. So
very
actually,
cool.
Me and Della drove over there one night to take a look at it after work. I was definitely quite floored when I saw it. I was, at that point, very questionable if it even had 11 miles on it. But just spending just probably less than a minute looking at particular things in the car, it, you know, other than the odometer that says
right, that's
miles,
all I could tell.
Right, there's a lot of other things that if you know what you're looking for really helps say that.
Oh, I did show them where the sticker under the seat where we thought it was like 13 grand.
Oh
yeah, I showed them that.
Yeah, it was 13 grand. Actually, part of it's still laying there. When I just found that, and when I was messing with it, the one fell off. So, but that was the price of this car.
It's an 84. That's a chunk of change, honestly.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And,
oh, I didn't show this. You showed me this. This is cool. Is that 84, 85? April?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that was—an inspection sticker or a registration sticker.
Yeah.
But yeah, this car really has not been driven more than 11 miles. But the story that I was told was that the guy I bought it off of, his friend bought it in '84, stuck it in a barn. 12 years later, a drunk driver lost control, apparently must have hit a burn or something, went airborne, they said. That's why it looks the way it does.
Yeah, something had to have pushed down hard on this.
Exactly. So he said the car was airborne, went through the wall of the barn, and then came down like right here. So even above the tire, the axle is bent a little bit. It's got a little bend, but I didn't even see where the rim was dented. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's all stock, you know. I mean, you can go down, let's see here. Yeah, look right here. See the date code on this TRX? 074. That means this tire was made in the 7th week of 1984.
Yeah, and by the way, when you covered that recently, you know, on the video, you covered the tire date. Somebody put in the comments, Matt's right.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good to hear. So,
not that I guess you weren't.
It's been a long time since I've worked at a tire tech and had to read the DOT numbers on a tire. So It's good to know that memory was still there.
So you were right once, Matt, at least.
At least once. Broken clock's right twice a day.
Twice a day. So you got to get something else right here today.
There you go. I'll do my best. It wasn't just this that happened to it. The guy that originally bought it sold it to his friend, which is who I bought it off of. His friend bought it to a body shop to have the quarter pound replaced, because at that time, this was the only damage.
Okay.
It was a brand new car with the crushed quarter panel. It got to the body shop, apparently sat there for several more years, and then this happened. Then apparently it got hit here.
Oh man.
It got hit here.
Like, how does this, I wonder how this happens. It's crazy.
I don't know. Something dropped across the hood. So now the fender and the hood's dented.
Wow,
I mean, this car does not have a straight body piece on it. Not a straight body piece in this entire car, but it's an 11-mile car. And to get worse, after it was hit at the body shop, then he says his friend at the body shop called the guy that owned the car at the time, saying, you got to come and get this car. People are stealing stuff off of it. So it doesn't have the carburetor. It doesn't have the air filter housing.
Let's pop the hood, take a look at some of this stuff.
And one of the worst parts I saw, and I didn't even think about it, but I started looking at the exhaust. When they stole all that other stuff, they cut the catalytic converters out of it too. Oh man. So they hacksawed the converters out of it. So this car, never been driven, has had a horribly rough life.
Yeah.
But this is how I got the car. They apparently stole the battery. They just cut the cables, both positive and negative cables. They just cut. This right here, like, it's all original.
You look at that gold plating on the.
It's not gold. Look right here. It's like a yellow CAD. Okay. But you see this little green spot? That green spot's like a paint mark. That's an inspection mark from the factory. So that's like an original factory inspection mark.
Look how clean that VIN tag is.
Yeah, well, it's buck
tag, right? Yeah.
And you see it says ANN. That's a designation for the anniversary edition. So the 84 GT350s on the buck tag says ANN, not GT350.
Oh, that's cool. This is apparently only, what, a half a year front bumper with the fog lights?
Yeah, 84 and a half, because that's the anniversary edition. If you remember, the Mustangs came out in 64 and a half.
Right, 64 and a half. Yeah, because I got an 89 and a half.
Right, so the anniversary editions are half year. So in 84, in the first half of 84, you could get this bumper cover. They did not make it with the fog light holes. Even if you had a GT, it did not have the fog light holes or fog lights. In 84 and a half, when they released the anniversary edition, which is what this is, they added the fog light holes to it. The front bumper cover changed in 85, so this is a half a year only production bumper cover.
Well, I'm curious, like you said, there was a few parts you could tell, one of them being the alternator. What kind of else stands out that you can tell it's truly an 11-mile car?
If I look at this washer fluid bottle right here, if you look at the side here, you can see that this is a washer fluid and then the radiator. The washer fluid is obviously usually going to be blue. The radiator fluid is going to be green. It stains the plastic over time.
Oh yeah.
You can see this is still very much like the opaque look. There's very little staining in it. That shows to be super clean. Plus, if you look at stuff like the wiring harnesses here, these wiring harnesses have had no heat saturation, and if you see, it even still has on the engine feed harness, which is the wiring harness that's going to take the most abuse because it's on the heat of the engine, and plus if it's leaking oil, it's going to soak into there. Yeah. It still has the engineering part number tag.
Yeah, look at even this plastic doesn't look, I mean, so much better than mine, which we just removed a bunch of my harnesses when we removed the engine.
Right, and of course it sat for a while, so the rat got a hold of a couple of the wires, but we still got the 1984 date-coded spark plug wires.
Yeah, look at that, 84.
1984.
Oh yeah, you were pointing this out earlier, right?
Yeah, so you see we still got the nice bright yellow CAD on the wiper motor. That usually breaks down with heat.
Anything on the interior that would be obvious to a layman like me?
Let's see here. If you look at the steering wheel, it's got a lot of dirt on it. But between that dirt, if you notice, and this is the top of the steering wheel, it usually gets rubbed clean, you still have a real good graining texture there. So underneath that dirt, dirt's preserving the steering wheel.
Yeah, it's all preserved under dirt somehow.
But you just look for normal wear stuff, you know? Like the steering wheels, they always get rubbed smooth. Look at the dash bezels, you know? Over time, they usually get a lot of wear and stuff very clean. Look at the colors on the instrument cluster.
Yeah, they're nice and bright.
Yeah, if it had seen any type of sun exposure or driving, that would have definitely been more discolored and not as bright.
Did they have the door panels?
Yes, I do have. I actually got a bunch of parts. I've got the original seats and the door panels and a couple other things in the van.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So the big question is, I think everybody's wondering is, why did you buy this car? What are your kind of intentions for this car? Do you know yet?
Well, who wouldn't buy an 11-mile car when it was offered?
Well, I know I would. If this was offered to me, I'll raise my hand. I would not buy it even 11 miles. But you know what? I'd tell you about it.
Yeah, that's true. And I guarantee you, there's a lot of guys out there that are watching that would have been hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, just being 11 miles, like initially you think before you see it, you know, you may think, oh wow, you know, maybe it's not that hard. I can do the body work and get it back together and. You know, it would still have been damaged at one point, but if you can restore it and put it back on the road, that's great. So that was really my initial thought with it. That's
what I'm thinking. Like, I'm going to go take care of the SSP inside real quick, and then I'm going to start on this one. I mean, this will be nothing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this will be nothing after your SSP. You can actually do the other end.
Yeah, well, that'll be weird, though. So, anyway.
And then, of course, I looked at it. Those thoughts very quickly got questioned.
Yeah, you said you saw it at night the first time, too. Daytime, I'm sure it looked a little different first time in the day.
I was pretty bad at night.
Yeah, it's true. You can't hide this.
Right.
Did notice, I forgot, we haven't mentioned this, but you're saying the T-top glass is in pretty good shape, right? And even you've got this side as well?
Yeah, the driver's side I got. The T-top frame may be okay. T-tops have an additional steel frame that actually rivets with big steel 1/4-inch rivets to the rest of the body. They're not welded on. So I'm hoping the fact that they're not welded on will save the T-top frame, hopefully make it to where it could be straightened out if we try to replace the roof skin. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's gonna be okay because obviously it's a little twisted.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can twist it back into shape. The good thing is that it didn't twist it so much that it didn't break the glasses. I've actually got the driver's glass in the van over there.
Do you know what you're gonna do with it? Yeah, I mean, you said 11 miles you had to buy it.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. Absolutely hate the thought of parting out an 11-mile car.
Anniversary edition at that.
Anniversary edition.
Although I did already comment, they only had 175 horsepower, so they're not, you know.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure that's what the number was. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it yet. I might see if somebody wants to maybe buy it and try to fix it up themselves. I'm thinking about possibly doing it, but even with doing the work myself, you know, there's a lot of components that are just broken and worn out from both the accident and being exposed to the elements. The other thing I forgot to mention is that, you know, after it got sold from the guy who originally owned it, it sat outside for 20 years. And you can actually see on that front rim, if you look right here, this front tire had sank into the ground to that level.
Oh, wow.
So it sat in one spot for 20 years.
Yeah, look at how good the tread still is on these tires.
Yeah,
that's another
11-mile tires.
Yeah.
But you know, you got stuff as simple as like this badge right here, which is Gt350 only. Well, obviously it's missing the acrylic pieces here and it's pitted. So just finding those pieces to restore the car, they're going to be really expensive. To restore this car, I mean, if you're talking retail to restore this car to try to get it to concourse condition, my guesstimation, you're at a minimum of like 25 to 30 grand if you were to pay retail to have somebody do the body work, find good components that are still in great shape, like the hatchback quarter panels.
You're talking about the exterior quarter panels, right?
The interior quarter panels.
Oh, interior as well. Okay.
Yeah, because believe it or not, the exteriors are going to be easier to find than these interior panels.
You'll have to replace this, right? There's no way you could body shop fix this, right?
No. Because if you look at this, okay, so look at the car. The door's twisted. You got to get a new door. It's smashed here, and it's actually got a twist in it from the wreck. That's done. Even if the floor pan's okay, you got to do the B pillar on both sides, the rear roof, the quarter panels. This is actually an additional piece here. You got the piece that the hatch bolts to. You got the tail light panel. I think I've already mentioned the other quarter. The other door and a bumper cover. I mean, it's literally, you're gonna cut a car in half and weld half of a car onto there.
Yeah.
So
it'll be half original.
Exactly. So yeah, it's one of those things. I would really love to save it. I don't know if it makes any sense though.
I don't know. It doesn't to me.
Financially, it doesn't make sense. you know, you may have been able, the prices that the Fox bodies are bringing, if this was perfect condition 11 mile, you were probably going to get right currently at auction maybe between 20 and 30 out of it. My thought is really you're going to be putting probably a minimum of 20 or 30 into it just to get it back to perfect condition, if that's even possible. Financially and retail wise, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So let's say you're kind of on the fence, maybe save it, maybe not.
Yeah.
If you don't save it, what would be your plans for it? Do you know that yet? Do you want to get into that?
If I don't save it, the only other option is to, you know, get the good parts out of it so other Fox bodies can, let's say, live, you know, live longer.
Yeah, donate your parts, you know.
It does have a lot of good parts, and unfortunately it's an 84, so it's got the non-world class T5, it's got the flat tappet motor, it's got the 7.5 inch rear end. So the drivetrain really isn't worth that much unless it's, you know, somebody who just wants to put original 84 stuff back in. But performance wise, none of that's performance parts, so there's no benefit there. But it's a lot of components that are no good, but there's a lot of mechanical components that could go to help keep another Fox bodies on the road and working well.
You know what I thought would solve all this? I was thinking about it. You know how on our driver's licenses we have to say whether we're a donor or not? That should be a requirement. Whenever you bought a Fox body, you had to check the card whether you wanted to donate parts or not, depending on its condition.
After it dies,
yeah.
It's gonna donate organs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you said, you know, tell us what you think, but
yeah, it does have a red interior. I know another car that has a red interior. You got picked up recently.
Too bad this wasn't an all coupe 85 or 86 interior.
Then it'd be an easy decision, right?
It'd be an easy decision. Yeah,
He's gonna take it all in that case.
There's a few pieces I could piecemeal out of this, but not much. You know, maybe a carpet or a seat belt, but like the dash is different. The door panels are different. The center console, I don't have a center console.
You don't have a center console, yeah.
Right, so it could help that project a little bit, but
not a big
I've
factor.
got some other things in the work that may help with that. There's been a lot of really awesome viewers out there that have already reached out to me about the 85 SSP, so
yeah, that's cool. You guys are doing great on that. You know, you're not just commenting on my videos, but you're trying to help Matt. Several comments, Matt, about how to find out who the original trooper was. People are definitely trying to help, and I think some people even reaching out to you about different parts and stuff too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm talking to several people about getting some original parts for that car. So I really think that restoration on that 85 is going to come out fabulous.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. Let's be honest. Let's say you try to restore this one, right? You say, all right, I'm going to keep this Gt350, the 84, try to restore it. It's got to get in a long line. It would sit here at least a couple more years.
Right. And here's my thing. 84s just aren't my deal. My car is an 85. That's what I personally love. I definitely have a few aero cars that I like, but 85 has always been my car. So if this was an 85, there would be no question. If this is an 85, every component on this would go to one of my other projects.
Yeah.
But
you do like the 82s as well a little bit, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, that's kind of the next one down from the 85, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I like the styling on the interior and the body, of course, the drivetrain and all that. Pretty much the same drivetrain as this, except it had a 2-barrel carburetor on that GT other than a 4-barrel carburetor. You know,
and we had Kim's car over here before, the 82, and that one made me fall in love as well with 82s. But Kim's got a nice car.
Yeah, he does. He's still running the 4-speed overdrive that I rebuilt for him.
Yeah. So but he did the upgrades.
But he's got an 85 carburetor system and header exhaust system on it.
Yeah, so he did the right mods.
We did a few things to that to help perform.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video, that's a fun video. I'll throw a card. Kim's also a good dude, so we appreciate him around here. He's the man.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, and Matt has gone ahead, opened up the van. Wanted to show you the last parts of this interior that we got with the 84. And okay, so these are door panels, I guess.
Yeah. So we got the...
They look pretty good, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a little dirty. It needs a backing board. That board right there got wet and distorted.
Just the driver's side, maybe?
Driver's side, passenger side, yeah. But yeah, as far as like the vinyl's in perfect shape, even the carpet's in perfect shape. You just put a new backing board and a new weather strip seal on there, and it's a perfect set of 84 GT350 door panels. Aesthetically, they're completely different from my 85, so that wouldn't even be an option for them. Right. And then we got seats, looks like. Yeah, this is one of the saddest parts, man. The GT350s had a very particular material. I got one T-top bag, didn't get both of them, unfortunately. The 84 GT350s had this very specific insert material, and it's an 11-mile seat. But for whatever reason, the materials ate away there. There's a big hole right here. You can just see how it's spotted to where the fabric's broken down. I think what that's from, here's another part of that story. When the car went through the wall of the barn or shed or whatever it was, there was a bunch of house paint right there, and apparently the whole car got splattered with house paint. Oh, wow. So I think that probably the chemicals in the paint ate up the fabric in these areas. But yeah, man, it's, I mean, so sad. An original 11-mile GT350 seat set and it's just no good.
The seat frames are good, I guess.
Seat frames are good. The seat foams themselves are also probably good.
Oh, it's so tight.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
even the passenger seats,
fabric, yeah,
not much better. Well, it is a little better there, the headrest.
Yeah, well, this headrest, yeah, this is the driver's, so that's where the roof hit it.
That's what I figured. Yeah, the passenger one actually looks decent from here.
Yeah, it does. Some great parts 20 years ago. Now, you know, we can salvage a lot of it to make something. Maybe somebody could put the car back together. Oh, here you go. This is funny. You see this right here? That's from the bag that they wrapped the seat in, and then they would wrap the seat in a bag
dealer
first.
prep, right?
Well, you had to remove it for dealer prep. So they covered it in a bag for the assembly line so it didn't get damaged. They would then not even take the bag off, bolt the seat tracks to it, and then part of the dealer prep, when the car would get delivered, you would rip the bags off, you know, before it went to the lot. So this is, you know, what's left of the bag after they had wrapped the seat. This seat has it too. So that's just a cool little like originality type thing. Sad story, but it is what it is, and I just got to figure out what to do with it. Best way to get this thing to live on, whether it's by itself or in
another car. Even if it is another car, like you're gonna have to replace half the car anyway. Even if you restored it, it's gonna take 50% of another car to restore it, just about.
Oh, bare minimum,
So, all right, well, there you go, guys. I know I've never seen an 11-mile Foxbody like this. Matt, I hope you don't see another one like this because it's a little sad.
Yeah, it's the first one I've seen like
that. But true story right here on the channel. So we talked about it. Let us know your thoughts down below. And that's gonna wrap this one up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. That helps me out a lot. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe because we got a lot of more Foxbody content. I mean, look, Foxbodies everywhere. That's what we do here. So like I said, please subscribe. I do have a few links down below. I have some Gearhead 704 shirts. Check them out. They're in the description. I have some stickers, and you can get 10% off of those items at FoxResto.com as well if you use promo code Gearhead 704. Matter of fact, that code works on most items on FoxResto.com. So check that out too. And that's gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. We'll see you here next time on Gearhead 704.